Whoa! Whoa! Amazing! Whoa! Whoa!
On August 24th, Typhoon Kajiki suddenly intensified, reaching Category 2 status with maximum sustained winds of up to 162 kilometers per hour. As it approached Hainan Island, the storm's outer circulation began to batter the southern coastal areas of Guangdong Province. Local meteorological agencies issued urgent warnings, forecasting torrential rain, violent gusts, and widespread flooding, while urging residents to prepare for emergency conditions. Hours before landfall, heavy rain had already begun lashing Hainan's coastlines, with winds growing stronger by the minute. Authorities swiftly mobilized emergency forces and prepared evacuation plans for tens of thousands of households in vulnerable regions. By August 26th, the Hainan provincial government raised the disaster alert to red level, the highest category, signaling the threat of catastrophic damage. Nearly 20,000 residents from low-lying and coastal areas were evacuated to safer inland shelters. At the same time, more than 21,000 fishermen were brought back to shore, ensuring no one remained at sea during the storm. In Sanya, Hainan's most famous tourist destination, all public services and transportation systems ground to a halt. Airports, ferries, and bus routes were suspended. Thousands of tourists found themselves stranded in hotels, while countless flights were canceled or indefinitely delayed, throwing the bustling resort city into chaos. When Kajiki swept over southern Hainan, Sanya and nearby areas were inundated with extreme rainfall, with some districts recording 250 to 320 millimeters in just 24 hours. Drainage systems were quickly overwhelmed, turning roads into rivers. Residents reported entire neighborhoods submerged, paralyzing daily life and making movement nearly impossible. The combination of fierce winds and relentless rain created treacherous driving conditions. Cars were left stranded in floodwaters, motorcycles were toppled by gusts, and pedestrians rushed to seek shelter. Images of uprooted trees, shattered branches littering the streets, and fishing boats thrown onto harbor piers by massive waves vividly illustrated the storm's destructive power. The devastation did not stop at flooding. Power and communication networks across vast areas collapsed. Tens of thousands of households were plunged into darkness and cut off from the outside world. Repair crews worked through the night to restore service, prioritizing hospitals, evacuation centers, and essential facilities. At the port of Sanya, a vital hub for both tourism and trade, operations came to a complete standstill. High seas and powerful winds prevented vessels from docking. The local tourism economy, the backbone of Hainan, was severely hit. Hotels, restaurants, resorts, and beaches were forced to close indefinitely, leaving thousands of workers temporarily unemployed. In response to the disaster, local authorities quickly deployed rescue teams, military units, police, and medical staff. Soldiers and emergency crews evacuated residents, cleared fallen trees, and reopened critical routes for ambulances. Inside evacuation centers, thousands of families huddled together on makeshift mats. Children received cartons of milk, while the elderly were cared for by on-site doctors. Powerful images of solidarity and resilience in the face of disaster. On social media, residents posted live updates by the minute, rooftops torn away by winds, entire streets blocked by fallen trees, and neighborhoods swallowed by floodwaters. International news outlets echoed the scenes, calling Kajiki a stark reminder of the growing extremity of global weather events. By the morning of August 27th, Kajiki had weakened while moving into the South China Sea toward Vietnam. Yet the damage left behind in Hainan was staggering. Streets lay in ruins with uprooted trees and wrecked vehicles. Homes stood roofless, and residents were left shaken by the scale of destruction wrought by just a Category 2 storm. Experts have warned, even though Kajiki did not make direct landfall, the level of devastation highlights how fragile coastal cities remain in the face of nature's fury, no matter how modern or well-prepared they may seem. In the weeks ahead, recovery will be long and difficult. Restoring electricity, repairing transportation, and supporting thousands of displaced families will be no small task. Yet amid the hardship, the resilience, unity, and determination of the people of Hainan shine through, proving once again the enduring strength of human spirit when faced with disaster.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
On July 8, 2025, the small mountain village of Ruidoso in New Mexico, USA, was severely affected by flash floods caused by heavy rainfall that lasted for several hours. The flooding in this popular summer retreat town, already at risk due to last year's wildfires, resulted in 3 missing people, the complete destruction of a house swept downstream, and widespread damage.
He said, "She! Oh, the house! Oh, the house! Oh, the house!"
Authorities reported that the Rio Ruidoso River reached a 6-meter flood level on the afternoon of July 8th, causing widespread damage to roads and properties. As the floodwaters surged, 3 people, including a man and 2 children, were swept away by the fast-moving waters. Dozens of rescue missions were launched, including at least 85 water rescues involving people trapped in homes and vehicles. Several survivors were taken to hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. Local authorities deployed 2 National Guard rescue teams and additional local teams to assist with evacuations and recovery efforts. Some residents of the town, including artist Caitlin Carpenter, expressed their shock as they witnessed their homes being washed away. "I saw the flood take my house, and it was heartbreaking," she said emotionally. Flash floods and severe rainfall are particularly dangerous in areas affected by recent wildfires, as the charred landscape, unable to absorb rain, accelerates the flow of water. Ruidoso, which was devastated by fires in 2024, is especially susceptible to such flooding. Over 1,400 homes and structures were destroyed last year, creating barren lands that now cannot absorb water efficiently. The National Weather Service issued flood warnings for the area as the river quickly overflowed its banks, flooding both the streets and forests. Many roads were closed, and bridges were impassable. Local authorities issued evacuation orders, urging residents to move to higher ground. The flood peak, recorded at more than 6 meters, could be a new record for the area, though further verification is needed. Despite being prepared for the possibility of flash floods, Lynn D. Crawford, the village leader, admitted that the extent of the flood's destruction was still overwhelming. "We were ready, but we didn't anticipate this level of devastation." He said, "The local shelter systems have been activated, offering temporary refuge for those displaced by the flood." The smell of gasoline and the sound of trees falling due to the flooding reverberated throughout the region, further intensifying the sense of destruction. In the aftermath, floodwaters have receded, but recovery efforts are ongoing. Authorities continue searching for the 3 missing people, and municipal workers are clearing debris and vehicles stranded on flooded streets. The floods came just days after a similar flood disaster in Texas, where more than 100 people were killed, and more than 160 are still missing. Meanwhile, China is also facing catastrophic flooding caused by heavy rains in several provinces. On July 8th, Yunnan province in southwest China experienced severe landslides caused by intense rainfall in the city of Jiaotong, burying 2 homes and causing the disappearance of 5 people. As of the afternoon of July 9th, over 7,000 people had been evacuated to safety as rescue operations continue. In the eastern part of China, authorities are working to address the aftermath of Typhoon Kajiki, which struck Zhejiang province on the evening of July 8th. The typhoon brought 260 millimeters of rainfall in just 24 hours, causing significant flooding. Local governments have suspended rail services and issued warnings about further possible floods and landslides due to the ongoing heavy rains. These events underscore the increasing threat posed by extreme weather events worldwide. Floods, intensified by climate change, are causing major devastation, particularly in regions that have recently experienced wildfires. The rapid rise in water levels, coupled with the destruction of natural landscapes, is exacerbating the situation. Experts are calling for increased investment in flood mitigation, climate adaptation, and disaster response infrastructure. The ongoing crisis highlights the urgent need for better urban planning and disaster preparedness, as well as efforts to combat climate change. In conclusion, as New Mexico, Texas, and China grapple with the aftermath of devastating floods, local communities and governments continue their search and rescue operations while beginning the long process of rebuilding. It's clear that these events are not isolated, but part of a broader trend of increasing natural disasters linked to climate change. The resilience of these communities in the face of such destruction will be key to their recovery.
Nature doesn't send us warnings, but we can. Floods, earthquakes, wildfires, and storms are striking harder and faster than ever before. By subscribing, you are not just watching, you are joining a movement to stay alert, stay informed, and helps others to do the same. Hit the subscribe now because the next disaster won't wait, and neither should you. Be ready and be aware.